She collapsed in his doorway holding a dying baby. 4 barefoot children stood behind her in the snow, lips blue, eyes hollow. The woman's whisper cut like a blade. "Take my children. Let me go." Jack Holloway had failed to save his wife and son 3 years ago. Their graves sat frozen behind his cabin. Tonight, he'd save them all or join the dead. His answer came rough, absolute, irreversible. "I'll take you too." Hit subscribe and stay until the end. Comment your city below. I want to see how far this travels. Now let's begin. The knock woke him at 4. 3 taps. Weak. Desperate. Jack Holloway's hand found the Colt under his pillow before his eyes opened. Montana winter pressed against the walls, 20 below at sunset. Nothing human should be out there. The taps came again, softer. Jack lit the lamp and crossed the floor in bare feet. Each step echoed. He'd lived alone 3 years. Ever since Emma died. Ever since he buried her and their son and stopped talking to God. Who's there? Silence. Then a sound like someone dying. Jack opened the door. A skeleton stood on his porch. No. A woman, holding an infant wrapped in rags. The baby's lips were blue. 4 children huddled behind her in the snow, a girl about 9 twin boys, a toddler. Barefoot. Cloth strips tied around their feet soaked through. Their eyes were huge. Starved. Silent. The woman swayed. Jack caught her before she hit the ground. She weighed nothing, just bones and frozen skin. "Please." Her breath smelled like death. "Take my children." Jack looked at the 4 faces staring at him. No tears, no sound, just that terrible hunger he'd seen in animals before they quit. Inside. Now. The oldest girl moved first. She herded the others through the door like a shepherd. The twins stumbled. The toddler whimpered once. Jack kicked the stove open, threw logs in, pumped the bellows. Flames roared. The children pressed toward the heat. The woman collapsed in his chair, still gripping the infant. The baby stirred, made a weak sound. "When they eat last, 4 days. Jack's stomach turned. He looked at their faces, saw his son, dead at 2, saw Emma bleeding out while he begged for mercy that never came. "I knocked 23 doors. The woman's voice cracked. "Yours was the last light." 23 families turned her away. The twin boys stood by the stove, fingers bright red. The toddler clung to the older girl's dress. The girl watched Jack with eyes that trusted nothing. "Take them," the woman whispered. "I'll walk into the snow. Just save my babies." Jack knelt. Her eyes were gray. Exhausted. She couldn't be 30, but grief had carved her hollow. "How far'd you walk?" "From town, 5 miles. 5 miles. No shoes. Children." Jack stood, looked at each face, the girl's defiance, the twins' exhaustion, the toddler's confusion, the infant's blue lips. Emma had begged him to save their son. He'd tried. It wasn't enough. She died anyway. He held her hand and swore he'd never fail anyone again. Then he survived, kept breathing while they rotted. Not this time. "I'll take you too." The woman's eyes flooded. She shook her head. "I have nothing. I can't pay." "Didn't ask you to." The girl grabbed his sleeve. "Don't hurt Mama." Jack met her stare. "Won't. Promise." Outside, wind screamed. Inside, the cabin stopped feeling like a grave. Dawn broke pink. Jack fried his last 4 eggs, boiled beans, sliced salt pork. His week's ration. For 6 people, 1 meal. Didn't matter. The children sat at his table. The woman settled them there, hands shaking, whispering things he couldn't hear. The baby slept in her arms. Jack set plates down. "Eat." They attacked the food. The twins used their hands. The toddler gnawed salt pork grease on her chin. The older girl ate slow, watching her mother. The woman pushed her plate toward the infant. "For when she wakes, You eat. She's asleep. The woman hesitated, obeyed, ate mechanically. Tears streamed down her face. Jack turned away. Shame was private. When the plates were empty, the children stared with glazed eyes. The toddler climbed into Jack's lap, curled against his chest, fell asleep. He froze, hands hovering, finally wrapped one arm around her. She weighed nothing. "Sarah Brennan," the woman said quietly. "This is Lucy, Sam, Ben, Lily, Mary." She pointed. Lucy the 9-year-old, Sam and Ben twins, Lily toddler in Jack's lap, Mary infant. Jack Holloway. Why? Jack looked at the sleeping child, at the others by the stove, at Sarah's gray eyes waiting for the trap. Someone should have done it sooner. Sarah's face crumpled. She covered her mouth. Lucy touched her mother's back. Jack waited. "My husband died 6 weeks ago," Sarah said, voice flat. "Fever. Doctor wouldn't come without cash up front. By the time I borrowed money, too late." Jack's jaw worked. "Landlord evicted us. Church ladies said I was improvident. Said my husband's death was God's judgment. I tried washing, mending. No one hired me." "So you walked 5 miles. Nowhere else to go." Jack looked around. 1 room, 1 bed, shelves bare, flour at the bottom, beans almost gone. Enough for 1 man through March. For 6, maybe 2 weeks. "I should leave," Sarah said, standing. "You've been kind, but..." "Where?" Sarah had no answer. Jack shifted Lily. "You stay. We'll figure it." "You don't have food." "Then I'll get more." "How?" Jack didn't know. He'd find a way. Sam and Ben slept against each other by the stove. Lucy watched Jack. Sarah held Mary, searching his face for cruelty. Found none. "Why?" she whispered again. "I know hungry. No cold. That's enough." Outside, snow fell. Inside, Sarah closed her eyes, felt safe. That night, Jack gave them his bed. Lucy on the outside. Twins in the middle. Lily between them. Mary in a drawer lined with blankets. Sarah on the floor beside her. Jack took the rocking chair. He stared at the ceiling. Carved initials. J+E. 1880. Him and Emma. Wedding year. Memories came like wolves. Emma's laugh. Her hand. How she hummed cooking. Then the midwife's face. The blood. "I'm sorry, Jack. They're gone." Wife and son. Winter took them like it took everything. He'd carved those initials young and stupid. Now they mocked him. A board creaked. Sarah stood there wearing Emma's shawl. Jack had given it without thinking. It hung unused 3 years. "I should go." "Why?" "I'm a burden." "You're a mother protecting her children. That's strength." Sarah shook her head. "Town called me shameless. Said if I was decent, God would have provided." Anger flared hot in Jack's chest. "God did provide. Sent you here." Sarah's eyes widened. She pulled the shawl tighter. "I can work, mend, cook, earn my keep." "You already did." "How?" Jack gestured. "Sleeping children, fire crackling, life where there'd been none 12 hours ago. You woke this house up." Sarah sank into the other chair. Mary stirred. Sarah rocked the drawer with her foot. Automatic. Maternal. "My husband was good," Sarah said. "Worked hard, loved his children, trusted wrong people, made bad deals. When he died, debts fell to me. Not your fault. Town thinks so. Town's wrong." Sarah looked at him, really looked. "You lost someone." Not a question. Jack nodded. "Wife, son, 3 winters back." "Sorry." "Me too." They sat. 2 people carved hollow, filling silence with understanding. "What about food?" Sarah asked. "Town tomorrow. Trade for supplies. With what? Jack touched his vest pocket. His father's watch. Only valuable thing left besides land. I'll manage. Sarah started to protest. Stopped. Learning to accept help. Outside, wolves howled. Close. Jack stood, checked his rifle. Sarah tensed. Won't come near, not with fire. Lie. Wolves were getting bold, desperate. Sarah moved to the bed, smoothed Lucy's hair, adjusted Ben's blanket, touched each face. She turned, tears on her cheeks. Thank you. Jack nodded. Sarah returned to the floor. Jack added wood, settled in the chair. The initials caught firelight. J+E. Maybe Emma sent her. Maybe this was forgiveness. Second chance at family. Or just survival. 2 broken people. 5 starving children. 1 cabin against cold. Either way, he'd see it through. Outside, wolves howled. Inside, 6 people breathed. For now, enough. 10 days passed. The cabin changed. Sarah mended curtains, swept floors, organized supplies. Lucy learned bread baking. Sam and Ben stacked wood under Jack's eye. Lily followed Jack everywhere. Mr. Jack, tugging his sleeve, splitting logs, climbing his lap at meals, sleeping against his shoulder evenings. Something cracked in Jack's chest each time. Sarah watched from the kitchen, Mary on her hip. Small smile. Jack caught her looking. She blushed, turned away. Attraction was there, unspoken. Hands brushing for the same cup. Eyes meeting too long. Both lying awake at night listening to the other breathe. But survival first. Romance was luxury. Supplies went faster than expected. He'd traded his father's watch for flour beans, cornmeal seed potatoes. Should have lasted March. 6 mouths ate more than 1. 10th night, Jack counted what remained. 2 cups flour, half-sack beans, cornmeal for 4 meals. Back to town. Nothing left to trade. Sarah found him at the table, head in hands. How bad, bad? She sat. There's work in town. No. Sharp. They humiliated you. Won't let 'em do it again. I'm not fragile. Didn't say you were. Then let me help. Jack looked at her. Woman who walked 5 miles to save her children. Worked dawn to dusk. Survived loss and shame. Not fragile. Steel wrapped in skin. I'll figure it. We'll figure it, Sarah corrected. Lucy appeared, barefoot, sleepy. We leaving? No, sweetheart? Sarah moved fast. Bed. Heard you talk about food. Jack's throat tightened. Too young for this worry. Not leaving, Jack said. This is home. Lucy studied him. Old eyes. Promise? Promise. She nodded, left. Jack and Sarah sat in firelight. Weight of that promise settling. Town tomorrow, Jack said. See if Henderson gives credit. He won't. Then I'll find who will. Sarah reached across the table, covered his hand, her palm rough, warm. Jack stared at their hands, afraid to move, afraid she'd pull away. She didn't. Whatever happens, Sarah said. Together. Jack nodded. Couldn't speak. Outside, an owl called. Inside, something shifted. Partnership deepening. That night, Jack dreamed of spring. But morning brought reality. Jack saddled his horse before dawn. Sarah stood in the doorway, Mary bundled against her chest. You'll be careful. Always am. Jack. She stopped him. If Henderson says no, I'll find another way. Their eyes held. Something unspoken passed between them. Jack rode out as sun broke. Redemption Springs, 20 miles of frozen mud and shattered hope. Jack rode in at noon. Town square busy. Men outside the saloon. Women between shops. Children in slush. He tied up outside Henderson's mercantile. The bell chimed. Henderson looked up, eyes narrowed. Holloway. Heard you took in the Brennan woman. Jack's jaw set. That's right. Charitable. Need supplies, flour, beans, salt pork, pay end of April, spring calves. Credit. Right. Henderson leaned back, arms crossed. How many mouths? 6. 6, on a failing ranch. He shook his head. Can't do it. You owe from last year's seed. I'm good for it. Maybe, but I'm not charity. Neither was the church. Henderson's face hardened. Watch it. Jack bit back words. Needed supplies more than satisfaction. Half now, half April. Cash only. Jack pulled out $3, last money he had. Henderson counted it, slid it back. Not enough. Behind Jack the bell. Mrs. Pruitt entered, Deacon's wife, nose wrinkled. Mr. Holloway. Cold. Heard you're harboring that woman. Sheltering a widow and children. More than shelter from what I hear. Jack turned slow. Ma'am, say what you mean. Her cheeks flushed. Decent folk don't live in sin. Cohabitating outside marriage. Decent folk don't starve children neither. Her mouth worked. Henderson hid a smirk. Reverend says if you're keeping her under your roof, marry her proper. Otherwise it's sinful. Jack felt heat climb his neck. Not anger. Realization. She was right. Not about sin. About protection. Wife had rights. Dependent had none. If he died, Sarah was homeless. But a wife inherited. Land. Cabin. Everything. Marriage wasn't romance. Survival. But something else stirred too. Something he didn't want to name yet. I'll consider it. Mrs. Pruitt sniffed, swept to the fabric counter. Jack turned back. $3. What's that buy? Henderson sighed. 10 pounds flour, 5 beans. Fine. Jack took the supplies, left before pride killed him. Outside, Reverend Stone waited, tall, weathered, kind eyes under bushy brows. Son. Minute? Jack nodded. Won't preach, Stone said. But Mrs. Pruitt's got a point. Makes it poorly, but still. That woman's reputation's hanging by thread. Yours too. Don't care about mine. Should, for her sake. Jack looked at the Reverend. Good man, one of few who'd spoken against town's treatment of Sarah. Think we should marry. Think if you're committed to caring for her and those children, legal protects everyone. She might not want me. Stone's eyes crinkled. Son, seen how she looks at you. She'll say yes. Jack's heart hammered. I'll talk to her. Stone clapped his shoulder. Good man. Jack untied his horse, started to mount. A hand gripped his arm. He turned. Sam stood there, the quieter twin, face pale. Sam, what are you? Followed you, the boy whispered. Wanted to help. Jack's chest tightened. You walked 5 miles. Sam nodded. That was damn foolish. Jack knelt. And brave, but foolish. Heard you and Mama. About food. About money. Sam's voice broke. It's our fault. We eat too much. If we weren't there... Stop. Jack gripped the boy's shoulders. You listen. You and your brothers and sisters, you're not a burden. You're the reason I'm still breathing. Understand? Sam's eyes filled. We're family now, Jack said. Family doesn't leave, doesn't give up. Got it. Yes, sir. Good. Now get on the horse. Sam's eyes widened. Really? Can't have you walking back. Come on. Jack lifted the boy up. Sam's face split in a grin. First real smile Jack had seen from him. They rode home together. Sarah met them at the door, face white. Sam disappeared. She saw him on the horse. Her knees buckled with relief. He's fine. Jack said quickly. Followed me to town. Wanted to help. Sarah pulled Sam down, held him tight. Don't you ever. Sorry, Mama. She released him, looked at Jack. Thank you. Their eyes held. Ben appeared. Saw Sam. You rode the horse. Yeah. No fair. Boys, Sarah said. Inside, both of you. They went, still bickering. Sarah and Jack stood in the cold. Jack. She stopped, started again. What Sam did. Walking all that way. He wouldn't do that if he didn't think of you as what? As his father. The word hit Jack like a fist. Father. He wasn't ready for that. Wasn't worthy of it. But standing there looking at Sarah's face at the cabin behind her full of children, he realized something. Ready or not, worthy or not, he already was. Sarah. His voice came rough. There's something I need to ask you. Now. Before I lose nerve. She waited. Jack pulled off his hat, turned it in his hands. Town says we should marry. Legal-like. For protection. For the children's sake. The words came awkward. Wrong. He tried again. What I mean is that the only reason? Sarah asked quietly. Protection. Jack looked at her. Really looked. No. Truth. Raw. It's not. Then what? Because when I thought Sam was lost, first thing I thought was, I gotta tell Sarah. Because when you smile, whole cabin lights up. Because I go to bed thinking about you and wake up same way. Because... Yes. Jack stopped. What? Yes. Sarah stepped closer. I'll marry you. You didn't let me finish. Didn't need to. She touched his face, her palm cold, but her eyes warm. I know what you're asking. Answers yes. Jack's hands found her waist, pulled her close. I can't promise I'll be good at this, he said. I failed before, failed Emma, failed my son. You didn't fail them. Felt like I did. Then don't fail us. Simple. Direct. That's all I ask. Jack kissed her. It was clumsy, desperate. 3 years of loneliness pouring into one touch. Sarah gasped, then kissed him back, hands fisting in his shirt. When they broke apart, both shaking. Mama! They turned. All 4 children stood in the doorway. Lucy grinning. Sam and Ben high-fiving. Lily clapping. Finally, Lucy said. Sarah laughed, real, full. First time Jack heard that sound. Inside, she told the children. All of you. They scattered giggling. Sarah looked at Jack. We doing this. Doing this. When? Soon as Stone can make it legal. She nodded, smiled, went inside. Jack stood in the cold, heart pounding, terrified. Hopeful. He'd failed once, lost everything. But standing there hearing laughter from inside, he thought maybe God hadn't given up on him after all. That night Jack couldn't sleep. He sat by the stove, Sarah in the chair across from him, children asleep. You scared? She asked. Terrified. Me too. Why? Sarah looked at the fire. What if it's not enough? What if we can't make it? What if... We will. You don't know that. No. Jack met her eyes. But I know I'm not facing it alone anymore. Neither are you. Sarah reached for his hand. He took it. They sat like that, 2 people holding on in the dark. Outside, wind howled. Inside, something stronger than winter took root. Morning came cold. But for the first time in 3 years, Jack woke and didn't wish he was dead. He woke and thought, I've got a family to feed. And that was enough to get him out of bed. Ben was already awake, sitting by the window, staring at the snow. You okay? Jack asked. Ben jumped. Didn't hear you. What are you doing up? Couldn't sleep. The boy looked at his hands. Keep thinking we're gonna have to leave. Jack sat beside him. Why would we leave? Because we always do. Every place we've been. First it's nice, then something happens. Then we gotta go. Not this time. How do you know? Because I'm not letting you go. Jack put a hand on Ben's shoulder. I know you're scared. Know you've been hurt before. But I'm here now. And I keep my promises. You promise we can stay. I promise. Ben nodded, didn't quite believe it yet, but wanted to. Come on, Jack said. Help me with firewood. Outside they worked in silence. Ben was small but determined, carrying logs twice his size, jaw set, refusing to quit. Jack watched him and saw himself. Stubborn, tough, scared underneath but too proud to show it. You're strong, Jack said. Ben looked up. Really, stronger than most men I know. The boy stood taller. They carried the wood inside. Sarah had coffee going. Lucy was braiding Lily's hair. Sam fed Mary with a bottle Sarah had improvised from cloth and a hollow reed. Family. The word settled in Jack's chest. Took root. He'd lost one family. But maybe he was building another. 2 days later, Webb came. Jack saw the black carriage from half a mile, coming up the road slow, deliberate. Cyrus Webb, banker, landowner, man who held mortgages on half the county. Beside him sat the county clerk, leather case in his lap. Sarah saw them too. Face went pale. Jack? I see him. What do they want? Jack knew. He'd known this was coming. Hoped he'd have more time. The carriage stopped. Webb stepped down, tipped his hat, smile cold. Holloway. Webb. Came about your taxes. Figured. You're $47 in arrears. Payments due in 2 weeks. Otherwise county seizes the property. Sarah's breath caught. Lucy appeared beside her, holding Lily's hand. The twins peered from behind Jack's legs. Jack's jaw worked. I know. Do you have it? Will by then. Webb's smile widened. Well, you heard you're feeding extra mouths now. Expensive business charity. 2 weeks, Jack repeated. Webb gestured to the clerk. The man produced a document. Sign here. Acknowledges the debt and deadline. Jack signed without reading. Webb tucked the paper away. Eyes drifted to Sarah. Mrs. Brennan, heard you landed on your feet. Sarah lifted her chin. I'm managing. I'm sure you are. His tone implied things that made Jack's fists clench. 2 weeks, Jack said again, voice low. Dangerous. Webb's smile didn't falter. 2 weeks. The carriage pulled away. When it was gone, Sarah sagged. Jack caught her. $47, she whispered. How? Jack had no answer. He'd sold everything. Watch, father's rifle, Emma's wedding ring. All he had left was the horse and the land itself. Sarah disappeared inside, returned with something in her hand. Take this. A gold pocket watch, ornate, engraved. That's your husband's. His grandfather's, worth 60, maybe more. Sarah, no. Take it. Her voice cracked. You've given us everything. Let me give something back. I won't rob you. My past is dead. Her eyes blazed. This right here, this matters. These children, you, this. Jack stared at her, torn. We're partners, Sarah said, voice breaking. So let me be your partner. Stop being too stubborn to accept help. She turned, walked inside, slammed the door. The watch lay in the snow. Jack picked it up, gold cold in his palm. Behind him, Lucy stood in the doorway. Mama cries at night, the girl said quietly. Thinks we'll lose this place. Lose you. You won't. Then why are you fighting? Jack looked at the watch, at the cabin, at this child who'd become his in everything but name. Because I don't know how to let people help me. Lucy nodded, old beyond her years. Maybe you should learn. That night, Jack and Sarah didn't speak. She slept with the children. He sat by the stove, watch heavy in his pocket. At dawn, wolves came. 4 of them, gray, hungry. They hit the chicken coop like a storm. Jack grabbed his rifle, fired twice. Wolves scattered, but not before killing 2 hens. He stood in mud, surrounded by feathers and blood. Everything was falling apart. Land, supplies, fragile peace. And his pride was the axe cutting it down. He found Sarah in the kitchen, kneading dough. I'll sell the horse, Jack said. She looked up, eyes red. She's worth 70, enough for taxes and supplies through spring. That's your only... We'll manage. Sarah set down the dough, wiped her hands. We'll sell the watch too, use the money for seed and stock, start over properly. Jack crossed the room, cupped her face in his hands. Partners. Yes. Then we decide together. Sarah nodded, tears spilling. Jack kissed her forehead, gentle. Outside, wolves howled. Inside, 2 people made peace with sacrifice. The blizzard hit 3 days later. Jack woke to wind screaming like something alive. Snow already piling against the windows. He could barely see the barn through the white. Stay inside, he told Sarah. All of you. Where are you going? Horses need feed. Chickens need water. Jack, you can't see 10 feet? They'll die if I don't. He was out the door before she could argue. The cold hit like a fist. 20 below, maybe worse. Wind drove snow into his eyes, his mouth. He tied a rope from the porch to the barn. Old trick his father taught him. Follow the rope back or die lost 10 feet from your door. The barn was dark, cold. The horses stamped nervously. Jack fed them, checked their water. The chickens huddled together, the 2 survivors from the wolf attack. He scattered grain, filled their pan from the pump. When he turned to leave, the rope was gone. Wind had torn it loose. Jack's chest tightened. He could hear the cabin. Voices, couldn't see it. Jack! Sarah's voice, faint through the storm. He took a step toward the sound, then another. The world was white. Nothing but white. His boot hit something. The porch step. Hands grabbed him, pulled him inside. Sarah slammed the door. Her face was white. You stupid, don't you ever... She stopped, pulled him close. He could feel her shaking. I'm all right. You could have died. But I didn't. Lucy stood by the window. How long will it last? Day. Maybe 2. We have enough wood. Jack looked at the pile by the stove. Maybe 12 hours worth. I'll get more. Not in this, Sarah said. We'll ration it. Keep the fire low. By nightfall, the temperature inside had dropped. They could see their breath. The children huddled under every blanket Jack owned. Mary cried a thin, constant wail. She's cold, Sarah said. Voice tight with fear. Jack pulled off his coat. Wrap her in this. You'll freeze. I'll manage. He didn't. By midnight, he was shaking so hard his teeth chattered. Sarah made him sit by the stove, wrapped Emma's shawl around his shoulders. Your turn, she said. Lucy had stopped talking, just stared at the fire. The twins pressed against each other. Lily wouldn't stop crying. Shh, baby, Sarah whispered. Shh. But Lily wouldn't stop. Jack picked her up, started humming. Some tune Emma used to sing. He couldn't remember the words, just the melody. Lily quieted, pressed her face into his neck. You're good at that, Sarah said. Emma sang it, to our son. Sarah was quiet a moment. What was his name? Thomas. First time Jack had said it aloud in 3 years. Tommy. How old? 2, almost 3. What happened? Fever, same as Sarah's husband. Doctor came too late. Nothing to be done. Jack's voice cracked. Emma tried to fight it, held on for days. Then she just gave up, said she couldn't stay without him. Sarah's hand found his. I'm sorry. I blamed God for a long time. Blamed myself more. Thought maybe if I'd gotten the doctor sooner, if I'd prayed harder, if I'd... Stop. Sarah squeezed his hand. You can't carry that. Don't know how to put it down. Then let me help you carry it. Jack looked at her, at this woman who'd lost everything and kept fighting, who'd walked 5 miles in snow to save her children, who'd said yes when he asked her to marry him, even though he had nothing to offer but a failing ranch and a broken heart. How'd you survive it? He asked. Losing your husband. Didn't have a choice. Children needed me, so I got up every morning and kept going. Some days, that's all you can do. Some days I didn't want to get up. I know. But you did. And look where it got you. Jack looked around the freezing cabin, at the children shivering under blankets, at the wood running out and the storm still raging. Where'd it get me? Here, with us. Sarah moved closer. You think this is failure? You saved 5 lives. You gave us hope. That's not nothing. Outside something crashed. The chicken coop maybe, or part of the barn roof. We're not going to make it, Jack said quietly. The storm, the taxes. We're not... Yes, we are. Sarah's voice turned hard. We're going to survive this storm. Then we're going to figure out the money. Then we're going to get married and build a life. You hear me? Sarah. I didn't walk 5 miles to die in a blizzard, and neither did you. So we're going to make it, all of us. Jack wanted to believe her, but the wind kept screaming and the fire kept dying and Mary kept crying, and he couldn't see how this ended any way but badly. Then Ben spoke up, small voice from under the blankets. I'm scared. Sam echoed him. Me too. Lucy pulled them close. It's okay. Mr. Jack will keep us safe. 4 pairs of eyes looked at Jack, trusting, believing. He couldn't let them down. Lucy's right, Jack said. We're safe. Storm can't touch us in here. Promise? Ben asked. Promise. Another lie. But sometimes lies were kindness. The night stretched on. The fire burned lower. Jack fed it with wood, 1 log at a time, making it last. Sarah held Mary, rocking her, humming the same tune Jack had sung to Lily. Around 3 a.m., the wind changed, lessened. By dawn, it had stopped completely. Jack opened the door. Snow had drifted 5 feet against the cabin. The barn roof had partially collapsed. The chicken coop was gone, just splinters and wires scattered across white. But they were alive. We made it, Sarah said behind him. Yeah, we did. She slipped her hand into his. They stood there looking at the damage. What now? She asked. Now we dig out, fix what we can, and figure out how to get $47 in 10 days. You mean we figure out how to get it? Jack looked at her. We, Sarah confirmed. Behind them, the children were waking up. Lily crying for breakfast. Lucy trying to calm her. Sam and Ben arguing about something. Mary fussing. Normal. Beautiful. Chaotic. Life. Jack turned to face it. And for the first time since the storm hit, he smiled. They spent the morning digging out. Jack and Sarah worked in silence, shoveling paths from cabin to barn, from barn to well. The children watched from the window. Can we help? Lucy called. Stay warm. Jack called back. We've got it. But they didn't. The work was too much, too hard. Jack's shoulders burned, his hands blistered through his gloves. Sarah's face was red from cold and exertion. "Take a break," Jack said. "You first." "Sarah." "I said you first. Stubborn woman." Jack loved her for it. They broke for noon. Sarah made thin soup from the last of the salt pork. Jack counted the beans. 4 cups left. Flour was gone. Cornmeal was gone. They had maybe 3 days of food if they stretched it. "I'll go to town," Jack said. "Tomorrow." "And do what?" "Sell the horse, sell the watch, whatever it takes." "The horse is worth $70. The watch is worth $60. That's $130. So that's more than we need for taxes. Way more." Jack hadn't thought that far. "Then we use the rest for supplies." "Or," Sarah paused, "or we use it for something else." "Like what?" "Like starting over, really starting over. Buying livestock, seed for spring planting, tools, things that'll make this ranch work." Jack stared at her. "You're talking about staying, long term." "I'm talking about building something, not just surviving. Building. That's a lot of faith in a man you barely know." "I know enough." Sarah met his eyes. "I know you kept us alive through that storm. Know you gave up your coat for Mary. Know you promised Ben we'd make it, and you kept your word. That's enough for me." Lucy appeared in the doorway. "Mama, there's a man outside." Jack and Sarah exchanged a look, stood. Reverend Stone stood on the porch, snow covering his coat and hat. "Reverend," Jack said. "Hell of a day to visit. Heard you folks might need help. Brought supplies." Stone gestured to his wagon. "Flour, beans, salt pork. Enough for 2 weeks at least." Sarah's eyes filled. "We can't." "You can, and you will." Stone smiled. "Church took up a collection after I told them about your situation. Not everyone agreed, but enough did." "How much do we owe you?" Jack asked. "Nothing. It's a gift." Jack's pride reared up. He started to refuse. Then he looked at Sarah's face, at the children watching from the window, at the supplies in the wagon. Sometimes accepting help wasn't weakness. Sometimes it was wisdom. "Thank you," Jack said quietly. "Thanks, Sarah. She changed some minds in this town. Not all of them, but some." After Stone left, they carried the supplies inside. The children helped, faces bright with excitement. "Look, Mama." Lily held up a sack of cornmeal. "It's heavy." "I see, baby." Ben found a tin of peaches. "Can we have these?" "Tonight," Sarah promised. "For dessert." That evening they ate until they were full. Beans and salt pork and biscuits. Peaches for dessert. The children laughed, played, acted like children for the first time since Jack had known them. After they went to bed, Jack and Sarah sat by the fire. "That was a good day," Sarah said. "It was. Think there'll be more of them?" "I don't know. Hope so." Sarah leaned against his shoulder. "Me too." Jack put his arm around her. They sat like that, watching the fire, not talking, not needing to. Outside the night was clear, cold, stars so bright they hurt to look at. Inside 6 people slept warm and fed. And for the first time in a long time, Jack thought maybe, just maybe, they'd make it after all. The next morning, Jack rode to town alone. The watch and a bill of sale for the horse tucked in his coat pocket. He'd argued with Sarah about keeping the horse. Lost. "We need the money more," she'd said. "We can get another horse later." "How will I get supplies back?" "Same way I got here. You'll walk." So he was selling the horse, his father's horse, the last living thing that connected him to his old life. Progress hurt sometimes. Redemption Springs looked different after the storm. Cleaner, quieter. Like the blizzard had washed away some of the town's meanness. Or maybe Jack was the one who'd changed. He went to Henderson's first. Sold the watch for $55. Less than it was worth, but Henderson knew desperation when he saw it. That'll cover your seed debt, Henderson said, with 5 left over. Need more than 5. Can't help you there. Jack left, walked to the stable, found Tom Bradley, the town's horse trader. Looking to sell, Jack said. Bradley looked at the mare, ran his hand down her legs, checked her teeth. $50? She's worth 70. To you maybe, to me she's 50. 60. 55. Final offer. Jack took it. He had no choice. $110 total. Enough for taxes with 63 left over. Enough for seed, for supplies, for a fresh start. He paid Webb first. The banker counted the money twice. Thought you'd lose the place, Webb said. Sorry to disappoint. There's always next year. Jack leaned forward, voice low. There won't be a next year. I'm paying in full from now on. You'll never have cause to come to my door again. We clear? Webb's jaw tightened. Clear. Jack bought supplies next. Flour, beans, salt pork, seed potatoes, cornmeal, sugar, coffee. Everything they'd need through spring. Henderson loaded it into a borrowed handcart. Heard you're marrying the Brennan woman, Henderson said. That's right. People talk. Say she trapped you. Use those kids to. People should mind their business. Henderson held up his hands. Just saying what I heard. Then stop hearing it. Jack pulled the handcart out of the store, started the long walk home. He was a mile out of town when he heard hoofbeats behind him. Webb's carriage. Jack's gut tightened. He kept walking. The carriage pulled alongside. Webb leaned out. Holloway. Word of advice. Didn't ask for any. That woman you're marrying. She's got a past. Jack stopped. What are you talking about? Her husband didn't die from fever. He died from a beating. Bar fight over gambling debts. Owes money to some dangerous people. $50. Maybe more. Jack's blood went cold. Where'd you hear this? I make it my business to know things. Those people she owes, they'll come looking. And when they do, that $47 you just paid won't mean much. You're lying. Ask her. See what she says. Webb's carriage pulled away. Jack stood in the road, mind racing. Sarah had said her husband died from fever. Said the doctor came too late. She'd never mentioned gambling, never mentioned debts. But why would she? She barely knew Jack when she showed up at his door. And after they'd been too focused on surviving to talk about the past. Unless she'd been hiding it on purpose. Jack's hands fisted around the handcart handles. No. He wouldn't believe it. Wouldn't believe Sarah had lied to him. Webb was trying to drive a wedge between them. That was all. Jack kept walking, but the doubt had been planted, and it grew with every step. He got home after dark. Sarah met him at the door. You're back. I was worried. Jack unloaded the supplies without speaking. Sarah watched him, confusion on her face. Jack, what's wrong? Nothing. Don't lie to me. He turned. How'd your husband really die? Sarah went still. What? You said fever. Webb says it was a beating. Bar fight, gambling debts. Which is it? Sarah's face crumbled. She looked away. Sarah. It was both. Her voice came small. He had fever first, was sick for days. Then he went to town, desperate, trying to win money for the doctor. Got in a fight when he couldn't pay what he owed. They beat him. He came home and died that night. Jack felt like he'd been punched. Why didn't you tell me? Because I was ashamed. Because I thought you'd turn us away if you knew the truth. The truth is, you lied. I didn't. Sarah stopped. I didn't tell you everything. There's a difference. Is there? What else haven't you told me? Nothing. Webb says your husband owed $50. Says those people will come looking. That true? Sarah's face went white. I don't know. Maybe. He owed money to everyone. And you brought that here, to my door, put me and these children in danger. I had nowhere else to go. You should have told me. The children appeared in the doorway, Lucy holding Lily, the twins behind them, all of them staring. You're yelling, Lucy said quietly. Jack looked at them, at their frightened faces, at Sarah's tears. What was he doing? Go back to bed, he said, voice rough. All of you. Lucy hesitated, then obeyed. The children disappeared. Sarah wiped her eyes. I'm sorry. I should have told you. You're right. But Jack, I was desperate, terrified. I didn't know if I could trust you. And now I know I can, and I'm telling you everything. My husband owed money to a man named Frank Delaney, runs a saloon in Silver Creek. Husband borrowed $50 3 years ago. Never paid it back. Delaney threatened us, said he'd take payment one way or another. When my husband died, I thought maybe Delaney would forget. Let it go. Men like that don't forget. I know. But what was I supposed to do? I had children to feed, had nowhere to go. So I ran. Hoped Delaney wouldn't find us. Jack turned away, ran his hand through his hair. This is bad, Sarah. I know. If Delaney comes here, I'll leave. Take the children and go. I won't put you in danger. Where will you go? Sarah had no answer. Jack looked at her. At this woman he'd promised to marry, who'd lied to him, who'd brought danger to his door, but who'd also brought life and laughter and love. He thought about the children asleep in his bed, about Lucy's fierce protectiveness, about Sam's fear of abandonment, about Ben's need for stability, about Lily calling him Papa, about Mary's small hand gripping his finger. He thought about Sarah's strength, her courage, her determination to survive. He thought about his own loneliness, his own desperation, his own need for family. And he made a choice. You're not leaving, Jack said quietly. Jack, we'll figure it out. Together. But you don't lie to me again. Ever. We clear? Sarah nodded, tears streaming. Clear. Good. Jack pulled her close, held her while she cried. Now tell me everything about Delaney. Everything you know. Sarah told him. About the saloon in Silver Creek, 30 miles south. About Delaney's reputation for violence. About the 2 men who worked for him, brothers named Kane and Abel Dutch. About how they'd come to her door twice before her husband died demanding payment. They scared me, Sarah whispered. The way they looked at me, at Lucy, like we were things they could take. Jack's jaw clenched. They won't touch you, or the children. I promise you that. How can you stop them? I don't know yet, but I will. They sat up late that night, making plans. Jack would go to Silver Creek, try to negotiate with Delaney, offer to pay the debt in installments. If that didn't work, Jack didn't know what he'd do if that didn't work. Sarah fell asleep against his shoulder around 2. Jack carried her to the bed, covered her with blankets, looked at the children sleeping peacefully. Then he took his rifle down from the wall, cleaned it, loaded it, just in case. Morning came too fast. Jack was checking the barn when Lucy found him. Can I help? Shouldn't you be inside? Mama's feeding Mary. Sam and Ben are fighting. Lily's crying. Thought I'd come out here. Jack smiled despite everything. Fair enough. You can help me with the chickens. They worked in comfortable silence. Lucy scattered grain. Jack filled the water pan. Are you and Mama really getting married? Lucy asked suddenly. That's the plan. Good. I like you. I like you too. Lucy was quiet a moment. Then, my real papa wasn't very nice sometimes. He drank, got angry, hit Mama once. Jack stopped. He hit her. Once. Mama said it was an accident, but I saw wasn't an accident. I'm sorry that happened. Will you hit her? No, never. Promise. I promise. Lucy, listen to me. Real men don't hit women. Or children. Your papa was wrong to do that. You understand. Lucy nodded. That's what I thought. But I wasn't sure. Now you're sure. Now I'm sure. Lucy paused. Are you scared about the bad men coming? So she'd heard last night. Jack should have known. Children heard everything. Little bit, Jack admitted. But I won't let them hurt your mama, or you, or anyone. I believe you. Good. They finished with the chickens, walked back to the cabin together. Lucy slipped her small hand into Jack's. Mr. Jack. Yeah. Thank you for keeping us. Jack's throat tightened. Thank you for letting me. Inside, Sarah had breakfast ready. Biscuits and gravy. The children ate with good appetite. Jack tried to eat but couldn't. His mind was on Delaney. On the threat hanging over them. After breakfast, there was a knock at the door. Everyone froze. Jack reached for his rifle. Stay inside. He opened the door. Reverend Stone stood there. Behind him, Tom Bradley from the stable, and Henderson, and 3 other men from town. Reverend, Jack said. What's? Heard you might have trouble coming? Stone said. Heard a man named Delaney might come looking for Mrs. Brennan. Jack's jaw tightened. Word travels fast? Small town. We look after our own. Didn't seem that way a month ago. We were wrong. We know that now. So we're here to help. You've got trouble coming. We face it together. Jack looked at the men, at their determined faces, at the rifles they carried. You do that, stand with us. Already doing it, Henderson said. Delaney shows his face here. He'll regret it. Sarah appeared beside Jack, saw the men. Her hand flew to her mouth. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you. Stone tipped his hat. We'll be watching. Anything happens, you send word. The men left. Jack and Sarah stood in the doorway, watching them go. Did that just happen? Sarah asked. I think it did. We have friends. Yeah, we do. Sarah turned to him, smiled. We're going to make it. Yeah. Jack pulled her close. We are. That night they slept better than they had in days. The children piled in the bed, Sarah and Jack in the rocking chairs by the stove, hands linked between them. Outside, stars wheeled overhead. The temperature dropped. Frost formed on the windows. But inside, 6 people breathed steady and warm. And for the first time since this all started, Jack believed they really would make it. All of them. Together. Delaney came 4 days later. Jack saw them from the barn. 3 riders. Black coats. Moving slow up the road like they owned it. He ran to the cabin. Sarah, get the children in the back room, now. Her face went white. Is it? Now. Sarah gathered them fast. Lucy herding the twins. Lily clinging to her mother's skirt. Mary in Sarah's arms. Stay quiet, Jack told them. No matter what you hear, stay quiet. Lucy nodded. The door closed behind them. Jack checked his rifle. 6 rounds. His pistol had 4 more. 10 shots total against 3 men. He stepped onto the porch. The riders stopped 20 feet out. The man in the middle was tall, thin, face like a hatchet. Frank Delaney. The 2 beside him were younger, broader, same cold eyes, the Dutch brothers. Holloway, Delaney said, voice smooth, dangerous. Heard you got something belongs to me. Don't know what you're talking about. Woman named Sarah Brennan. Husband owed me money. She inherited the debt. Debt died with him. Delaney smiled, no warmth in it. That's not how it works. $50 plus 3 years interest. Call it 100 even. She doesn't have it. Then I'll take payment another way. Delaney's eyes moved to the cabin. Heard she's got daughters. Pretty ones. Jack's finger moved to the trigger. You threaten my family again, I'll put a bullet between your eyes. Your family? Delaney laughed. You marry her yet? 2 days from now. Then she's not your family, not yet, which means she's fair game. Step off my property. Can't do that, not without what I'm owed. I'll pay it. $20 now, rest by spring. Told you, it's 100. 50 was the original debt. And interest makes it 100. That's how debt works, Holloway. You of all people should know that. Kane Dutch, or was it Abel, shifted in his saddle, hand moving toward his gun. Jack raised the rifle. Don't. Easy, Delaney said. We're just talking. But here's the thing. I came all this way. Don't like riding 30 miles for nothing. So I'm taking something today. Cash or collateral. Your choice. Got no cash, no collateral. Sure you do. Got horses, got land, got that woman and her kids. Touch them and you're dead. Big words from a man outnumbered. Delaney leaned forward. I'll make it simple. Give me 75 now. 25 by spring. We call it even. Don't have 75. Then we got a problem. Behind Jack, the cabin door opened. Don't, Jack said without turning. But Sarah stepped out anyway. She held Mary in one arm, the other hand steady at her side. Mr. Delaney. Mrs. Brennan. Heard you been hiding. Wasn't hiding, was surviving. Call it what you want, still owe me money. My husband owed you money. I don't. Law says different. Wife inherits husband's debts. That's how it works. Then take me to a judge. Let him decide. Delaney's smile widened. Could do that. Or you could just pay me what's owed and save us all the trouble. I told you, I don't have it. Then maybe we work something else out. His eyes moved down her body, slow, deliberate. Pretty woman like you. Sure we could figure something. Jack stepped forward. That's enough. What are you gonna do, Holloway? Shoot me, my boys'll kill you before you pull the trigger. Maybe, but you'll be dead. Standoff. Wind picked up, blew snow between them. Nobody moved. Then hoofbeats, coming fast. 5 riders appeared over the ridge. Reverend Stone in front, Henderson beside him, Tom Bradley. 2 farmers Jack recognized from town, all armed. Delaney's face tightened. This you're doing? Told you, Jack said. She's my family, and this town protects its own. Stone rode up, stopped between Jack and Delaney. Problem here. Private matter, Delaney said. Doesn't look private. Looks like 3 armed men threatening a family, on their own property. That's a problem. Man's got a right to collect debts. Through legal channels, not threats, not intimidation. Stone's voice hardened. Montana Territory's got laws, Mr. Delaney. You want to collect a debt, you take it to a judge. Otherwise, you leave these people alone. Or what? Or you'll have bigger problems than an unpaid debt. Delaney looked at the men, at their rifles, at their hard faces. He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. This ain't over. Yes, it is, Jack said. Sarah's marrying me, becoming my wife. Her debts become mine, and I'll pay them. $20 now, 10 more each month till it's settled. That's my offer. Told you it's 100. And I'm telling you it's 50 plus interest. Call it 70 total. That's generous considering you got no legal claim. Delaney's jaw worked. He looked at Sarah, at Jack, at the armed men. 80. And I want it in writing. Fine. And if you miss a payment, won't miss a payment. If you do, I take the land. Jack's gut clenched, but he nodded. Deal. Stone produced paper and pencil from his saddlebag. Jack wrote out the terms, signed it. Sarah signed it. Stone witnessed. Delaney took the paper, read it twice, folded it carefully. 20 now. Rest starting next month. Miss one payment and I own this place. We clear? Clear. Jack counted out $20, handed it over. Delaney tucked it away, tipped his hat to Sarah. Pleasure doing business, Mrs. Brennan, or should I say, Mrs. Holloway? Neither, Sarah said, voice ice. Say nothing, just leave. Delaney laughed, turned his horse. The Dutch brothers followed. They disappeared over the ridge. Jack's legs nearly gave out. He caught himself on the porch rail. Stone dismounted. You all right? Yeah, thanks for coming. Henderson sent word when he saw them riding in. We got here fast as we could. Fast enough. Jack looked at the other men. I owe you all. Don't owe us nothing, Bradley said. This is what neighbors do. After they left, Jack went inside, found Sarah in the back room with the children. Lucy had her arms around the twins. Lily was crying. Mary whimpered. It's over, Jack said. They're gone. Sarah stood, crossed the room, hit him, hard across the chest. Don't you ever, her voice broke. Don't you ever put yourself between me and danger like that again. Had to. You could have died. So could you. She hit him again, then collapsed against him, shaking. Jack held her, let her cry. The children watched with wide eyes. We're safe, Lucy asked quietly. We're safe. For how long? Long as I can make payments, and I will, every month, no matter what. What if something happens? What if you can't? Jack looked at her. At this girl who'd learned too young that safety was temporary, that promises got broken, that adults failed. Then we'll figure it out, together. But I won't let Delaney take this place. Won't let him hurt your mama. I promise you that. Lucy nodded, didn't quite believe it yet, but wanted to. That night, nobody slept well. The children had nightmares. Lily woke up screaming twice. Sam wet the bed for the first time in weeks. Jack and Sarah sat up with them, soothing, reassuring, lying when they had to. By morning, everyone was exhausted. We can't keep doing this, Sarah said. The children are terrified. I'm terrified. I know. What if Delaney comes back? He won't, not as long as I pay. And if you can't, then... Jack stopped. He didn't have an answer. Sarah put her head in her hands. Maybe I should have kept running, kept the children away from here, away from you, away from... Stop. You're not going anywhere. Jack. We're getting married tomorrow. You, me, those kids. We're becoming a family. Legal, permanent. And nobody, not Delaney, not Webb, not anyone is going to take that away. You hear me? Sarah looked up, tears streaming. I hear you. Good. Jack pulled her close. Now let's get through today. Tomorrow we get married. Then we start fresh. You make it sound simple. It is simple. Doesn't mean it's easy, but it's simple. The next day dawned clear, cold, beautiful. Jack woke before light, went to Emma's grave, stood there in the dark. I'm marrying her today, he said to the frozen ground. Marrying Sarah, taking on her children, building a new family. Hope that's all right with you. Wind whispered through the pines. Could have been answer, could have been just wind. Jack chose to believe it was answer. I loved you, he said. Still do. Always will. But I'm alive and you're not. And Sarah needs me. Those kids need me. So I'm moving forward. Hope you understand. He stood there a moment longer, then walked back to the cabin. Sarah was awake, wearing her only dress. Lucy had braided her hair. You look beautiful, Jack said. Sarah blushed. You have to say that. Don't have to. It's true. The children gathered, scrubbed clean. Lucy wore a ribbon in her hair. The twins had slicked down hair and clean shirts. Lily wore a dress Sarah had mended. Mary was wrapped in clean blankets. They looked like a family. They rode to town in the borrowed wagon. The morning was bright, crisp, perfect. Redemption Springs was busy. Saturday morning. People everywhere. Word had spread about the wedding. The courthouse steps were packed. Mrs. Pruitt sat in front, still disapproving but present. Henderson stood in back. Stone waited inside. Webb was there too, standing alone, watching. Jack helped Sarah down from the wagon. The children followed. They walked up the steps together. Inside, Stone smiled. "Ready." "Ready," Jack said. Sarah took his hand, squeezed. Stone opened his Bible. "Dearly beloved." The door burst open. Abel Dutch stood there, blood on his shirt, gun in his hand. "Sorry to interrupt," he said, "but we got a problem." Jack stepped in front of Sarah. "What kind of problem?" "The kind where my brother's dead, and you're responsible. I didn't pull the trigger, but you're the reason he's dead." Abel's eyes were wild, grief crazy. "We were riding back from here. He said something about the woman, about taking her. I told him to shut up. He wouldn't. We fought. Gun went off. He's dead. That's not my fault. It's somebody's fault, and you're the closest thing I got." "Abel." Stone stepped forward. "Put the gun down. This isn't—" "Shut up, preacher. This is between me and Holloway." Jack's mind raced. His gun was back at the cabin. He had nothing, no weapon, no way to fight. Behind him, Sarah's breath quickened. The children pressed close. "Let them go," Jack said. "This is between us. Let them leave." "Nobody's leaving." Abel cocked the hammer. "You took my brother. I'm taking everything you got." "I didn't take him. He took himself." "Liar." The gun swung up. Sarah screamed. Henderson tackled Abel from behind. The gun fired. Wild. The bullet hit the wall. Men piled on, held Abel down. He fought, screaming, crying, cursing. Stone knelt beside him. "Son, listen to me. Your brother's death was an accident. Shooting these people won't bring him back." "Don't care. Just want someone to hurt like I'm hurting." "I know, but this isn't the way." Tom Bradley arrived with rope. They tied Abel's hands, dragged him out. The courthouse went silent. Sarah's whole body shook. Jack pulled her close. The children huddled around them. "It's over," Jack whispered. "It's over." But it didn't feel over. Felt like they'd just survived one threat only to have another appear. Stone touched Jack's shoulder. "Maybe we should postpone. Give everyone time to—" "No." Sarah's voice came firm, unexpected. "No, we're doing this now. Today. I won't let fear win. Won't let violence win. We're getting married, right now." Jack looked at her. This woman who'd walked 5 miles in snow. Who'd faced down Delaney. Who'd survived loss and shame and kept fighting. "Right now?" He agreed. Stone opened his Bible again. Hands shaking, but voice steady. "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man and this woman in holy matrimony." The words washed over Jack. He barely heard them, just kept looking at Sarah, at her gray eyes, at her determined face, at this woman who'd saved him as much as he'd saved her. "Do you, Jack Holloway, take this woman?" "I do." "Do you, Sarah Brennan, take this man?" "I do." "Then by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss your bride." Jack kissed her, gentle, reverent, a promise and a vow. The courthouse erupted in applause. Mrs. Pruitt dabbed her eyes with a handkerchief. Henderson clapped. Tom Bradley whistled. Lucy hugged Sarah. The twins hugged Jack. Lily demanded to be picked up. Mary gurgled. They were a family now. Legal, permanent, real. Outside, people pressed close, offering congratulations, gifts, a quilt from the church ladies, canned goods from Henderson. a toy horse Tom Bradley had carved for the boys. Sarah cried. Happy tears this time. Jack held her hand. Couldn't stop smiling. They rode home as the sun climbed. The children sang, made up songs about weddings and families and forever. At the cabin, Jack carried Sarah over the threshold. The children cheered. Welcome home, Mrs. Holloway, Jack said. Sarah smiled. Glad to be here, Mr. Holloway. That night, they had a feast. Everything the town had given them, chicken and beans and cornbread and pie. The children ate until they were stuffed. After, Lucy asked if she could call Jack Papa. Already do in my head, she admitted. Just didn't know if it was okay. Jack's throat closed up. It's okay. More than okay. Papa, Lucy said, testing it, smiling. Sam and Ben echoed her. Papa. Lily had been calling him that for weeks. Now it was official. Mary cooed. She was too young to talk, but someday she'd call him Papa too. Jack looked around the cabin, at his wife, at his children, at the life he'd built from ashes. And he thought about that knock. 4 weeks ago, in the dark, in the cold. He'd almost not answered, almost let them freeze. But he'd opened the door, and everything had changed. Later, after the children were asleep, Jack and Sarah sat by the fire. Scared? Sarah asked. Terrified, Jack admitted. Of what? Of failing, of losing you, of not being enough. You're enough, Sarah said. More than enough. How do you know? Because you showed up. You opened the door. You said yes when every reason said no. That's enough. Jack pulled her close. I love you. First time he'd said it. The words felt foreign, rusty, but true. Sarah smiled. I love you too. They sat there, husband and wife, watching the fire, planning tomorrow. Outside, winter still held Montana in its grip, cold and hard and unforgiving. But inside, 6 people had found warmth, had found family, had found home, and that was enough, more than enough. It was everything. 3 days after the wedding, Jack went hunting. They needed meat. The salt pork was running low, and Jack needed time to think. The woods were quiet, snow-covered. He tracked a deer for 2 hours. Finally got a shot. Clean. Quick. He was field dressing the animal when he heard riders. 2 men. Not Dutch brothers, not Delaney. Strangers. They stopped when they saw him. Help you? Jack asked, hand near his rifle. Looking for the Holloway place. You found it. I'm Holloway. The older man dismounted, extended his hand. Name's Marcus Brennan. I'm Sarah's brother-in-law. This is my son, Robert. Jack's gut tightened. Family he didn't know existed. Sarah never mentioned you. Wouldn't. We weren't on good terms when her husband died. Heard she ended up here. Thought we'd check on her, make sure she's all right. She's fine. That's so. Heard she married you. Fast courtship. Fast circumstances. Marcus studied Jack. You treat her right. Better than your brother did. Marcus's jaw tightened. My brother had his problems, but he loved Sarah, loved those kids. He hit her, left her with debts, died in a bar fight. That love. Watch yourself. No, you watch yourself. Sarah's my wife now. Those children are mine. You got something to say, say it. Otherwise, get off my land. Robert stepped between them. Easy, both of you. We didn't come to fight, just came to see Sarah. Talk to her, that's all. Jack wanted to refuse, but it wasn't his choice. It was Sarah's. Fine, follow me. They rode back together, silent, tense. Sarah was hanging laundry when they arrived. She froze when she saw Marcus. Marcus, what are you? Came to see you. Make sure you're all right. I'm fine. Are you? Heard you married a stranger. Man you barely know. Seems hasty. Seems none of your business. Marcus's face reddened. Your family, Sarah. That makes it my business. I stopped being family when your brother died, and you didn't come to the funeral, didn't help with debts, didn't offer shelter. So don't come here now pretending you care. I do care. You care about your reputation, about what people think, not about me, not about the children. That's not fair. Life's not fair, Marcus. I learned that when your brother left me with nothing and you did the same. Robert stepped forward. Aunt Sarah, please, we're sorry. We should have helped, should have been there, but we're here now. Let us make it right. Sarah's expression softened slightly. She'd always liked Robert. He was kind, unlike his father. There's nothing to make right. I have a home now, a husband. We're fine. Are you? Marcus looked around. At the small cabin, the patched roof, the thin smoke from the chimney. This is what you want, this poverty. This isn't poverty, this is family, something your brother never gave me. My brother gave you everything. Your brother gave me children and debts. Jack gave me hope. Marcus's face went hard. So that's it. You've chosen him over us, over your real family. You stopped being my family the day you turned your back on me. Sarah. Goodbye, Marcus. Robert. She turned, walked inside, closed the door. Marcus stood there, fists clenched, then he mounted his horse, rode away without another word. Robert lingered. I'm sorry. About everything. About not helping. About my father. About... He stopped. I'm glad you're happy, really. Then he followed his father. Jack found Sarah in the cabin, sitting at the table, not crying, just staring. You okay? Fine. Sarah. I said I'm fine. Her voice cracked. Just give me a minute. Jack nodded, went outside, gave her space. Lucy found him by the barn. Is Mama all right? She will be. Who were those men? Your uncle, your cousin. The ones who didn't come when Papa died. Yeah. Lucy's face hardened. Good riddance. She went back inside. Jack smiled despite everything. That girl was going to be formidable someday. That evening, Sarah was quiet, distant. The children sensed it, stayed subdued. After they went to bed, Jack tried to talk to her. Want to tell me what happened with Marcus? Nothing to tell. He came. I sent him away. End of story. Sarah. I don't want to talk about it. Jack backed off. Let her be. But that night, he heard her crying, soft, trying to be quiet. He pretended to sleep, gave her privacy. Morning came. Sarah was herself again, smiling, cooking, playing with the children. But Jack saw the hurt underneath. The old wounds reopened. He couldn't fix it, could only be there. Be steady. Be the family she'd chosen. And hope it was enough. 2 weeks later, Sarah woke Jack before dawn. Something's wrong. He was up instantly. The baby. She nodded, face pale, hand on her belly. Bleeding, not much, but enough. Jack's blood went cold. How much is enough? More than there should be. He pulled on his boots. I'm getting the doctor. Jack, we can't afford... Don't care. I'm getting him. Jack was out the door before she could argue. He saddled the horse they'd bought with the last of their savings, rode hard for town. Dr. Morrison lived above his practice. Jack pounded on the door until a light appeared. Morrison opened up, gray-haired, annoyed. Holloway, it's 4 a.m. My wife, she's bleeding, she's pregnant. Morrison's expression changed. How far along? 2 months, maybe 3. How much bleeding? She said more than there should be. Morrison grabbed his bag. Let's go. They rode back together, dawn breaking pink behind them, Jack's mind racing with every terrible possibility. At the cabin, Sarah was in bed, Lucy beside her, holding her hand. Papa's back, Lucy said when they entered, relief in her voice. Morrison examined Sarah while Jack waited outside with the children. Sam and Ben sat on the porch steps, silent, scared. Lily clung to Jack's leg. "Is Mama dying?" she asked. "No, baby. Doctor's helping her." "But she's sick." "She's going to be fine." Another lie. But what else could he say? Morrison finally emerged, face grave. "She needs rest. Complete rest. No work, no lifting, no stress." The baby. Still there. For now. But it's touch and go. Next few days will tell. What can I do? Keep her in bed. Keep her calm. And pray. After Morrison left, Jack went inside. Sarah was crying, quiet, ashamed. "I'm sorry." Jack knelt beside the bed. For what? For being weak. For not being able to... Stop. You're not weak. You're the strongest person I know. I'm losing the baby. You don't know that. I can feel it. Something's wrong. Jack took her hand. Then we fight. We don't give up. We fight. Sarah nodded, but her eyes said she'd already given up. The next 3 days were hell. Jack did everything. Cooking, cleaning, caring for the children, tending the animals, all while watching Sarah fade. She barely ate, barely spoke, just lay there, hand on her belly, waiting. Lucy helped with the younger ones, kept them quiet, kept them occupied. She was 9 years old and carrying the weight of an adult. "Is she going to be okay?" Lucy asked on the 3rd night. Jack didn't know. "She's tough. She'll pull through." That's not an answer. It's the only answer I've got. Lucy was quiet a moment. "If Mama dies, what happens to us?" "She's not going to die." "But if she does?" "She won't." "Papa." Lucy's voice turned hard. "Tell me the truth. What happens to us?" Jack looked at this child who'd learned too young that adults lied to protect you, who demanded honesty even when it hurt. "If something happens to your mama, which it won't, you stay with me, all of you. You're my children now. Legal, forever. Nothing changes that. Understand?" Lucy nodded, tears in her eyes. "Okay. Okay." On the 4th day, Sarah woke screaming. Jack ran to her. She was doubled over, clutching her stomach. "It's happening," she gasped. "The baby." Jack sent Lucy for Morrison. Gathered towels, water, everything he could think of. Sarah bled. A lot. Too much. Jack held her hand while she cried. While she lost the child she'd barely known she was carrying. Morrison arrived an hour later, too late to do anything but clean up. "I'm sorry," he said. "There was nothing we could have done." Sarah turned her face to the wall, silent. Jack paid Morrison, walked him out. "She'll need time," Morrison said. "To heal, physically and otherwise." "How much time?" "Weeks. Maybe months. And Holloway." Morrison paused. "She's going to blame herself. Think it's her fault. You need to make sure she knows it's not." After Morrison left, Jack sat with Sarah. She wouldn't look at him. "Sarah, talk to me. There's nothing to say." "There's everything to say. I lost our baby." "You didn't lose anything. Sometimes these things happen. Doctor said..." "I don't care what the doctor said. I failed. Again. I can't even..." Her voice broke. "I can't even do this one thing right. Stop. This wasn't your fault." "Wasn't it? I'm weak. Broken. Everything I touch falls apart." "That's not true. My first husband died. My children nearly starved. And now this. Tell me how that's not my fault." Jack had no answer. Just held her while she cried. The children tiptoed around the cabin for days, afraid to make noise, afraid to upset their mother. Lucy tried to cook, burned everything. Sam and Ben fought over nothing. Lily wouldn't stop crying. Mary sensed the tension, fussed constantly. Jack felt like he was drowning. He couldn't do it all, couldn't be everywhere at once, couldn't fix what was broken. One night he stood outside. staring at the stars, trying not to scream. "You all right?" He turned. Sarah stood in the doorway. First time she'd been out of bed in a week. "Should be asking you that." "I'm fine." "You're not fine." "Neither are you." She came closer. "Jack, I'm sorry for falling apart, for—" "Don't apologize. You lost a child. You're allowed to fall apart." "But the children need me. You need me. And you're healing. That takes time." Sarah leaned against him. "I wanted that baby. Wanted to give you a child. A son. A daughter. Something that was ours. Those 5 in there are ours. You know what I mean?" "Yeah, I do. And I wanted it too. But Sarah, losing the baby doesn't mean we failed. Just means it wasn't time." "Will there be another time?" "I don't know. Maybe. But if there's not, we still have each other. Still have them. That's enough." Sarah was quiet. Then, "Is it enough for you?" "More than enough." She turned, looked up at him. "You mean that—" "Every word." She kissed him, soft, grateful, then went back inside. Jack stood there a moment longer, then followed. Inside, Lucy was reading to the twins. Lily was asleep in Sarah's chair. Mary dozed in her drawer. Sarah sat at the table, watching them. Small smile on her face. Jack realized something. They were already a family, already whole. The baby would have been a blessing, but its absence didn't make them less. They were enough, just as they were. A week later, Jack was fixing the barn roof when Henderson rode up. "Got a minute?" Jack climbed down. "What's wrong?" "Nothing's wrong. Wanted to talk to you about something." Henderson dismounted. "Been thinking. You need income. Steady income. Ranch won't cut it. Not yet." "I know. So I'm offering you work. At the store. 3 days a week. $1 a day plus supplies at cost." Jack stared. "You're serious?" "Dead serious. You're honest. Hard worker. I need help. You need money. Seems simple." "What about Sarah, the children?" "Bring 'em. Sarah can help with the books. She's got a head for numbers. Children can stock shelves. Make it a family thing." Jack didn't know what to say. "Why?" "Because you're good people, and good people deserve a chance." Henderson extended his hand. "So what do you say?" Jack shook it. "I say thank you." "Don't thank me yet. Work starts tomorrow." After Henderson left, Jack told Sarah. She cried. Happy tears this time. "We're going to make it," she said. "Really make it." "Yeah, we are." That night they celebrated. Small, quiet, but real. The children laughed. Sarah smiled. Jack felt hope for the first time in weeks. Maybe they would make it after all. The work at Henderson's was hard but good. Jack lifted, hauled, organized. Sarah kept books. Lucy watched the younger children while they worked. Everyone contributed. They fell into a rhythm. Up at dawn, work till noon, home for lunch, back to the ranch for chores, exhausted by sunset, but together. The first payment to Delaney came due. $10. Jack paid it in person. Rode to Silver Creek. Found Delaney at his saloon. "Right on time," Delaney said. Counted the money. "See you next month." "Yeah, you will." Jack rode home. 1 payment down, 7 to go. They'd make it, somehow. But a week later, disaster struck again. Jack was in the barn when he heard Sarah scream. He ran, found her in the cabin, staring at the floor, where Mary lay, not moving. "She's not breathing," Sarah said, voice high, panicked. "Jack, she's not breathing." Jack grabbed the baby, turned her over, patted her back. Nothing. He tilted her head back, breathed into her mouth. Once, twice. Mary coughed, sputtered, started crying. Sarah grabbed her, held her tight. Thank God, thank God. Jack's hands shook. What happened? I don't know. She was fine. Then she just stopped. Lucy appeared, face white. Is she okay? She's fine, Jack said. She's fine. But his heart was still racing. They'd almost lost her, almost lost another child. How many times could they survive this? How many close calls before their luck ran out? That night, Jack couldn't sleep, kept checking on Mary, making sure she was breathing. Sarah found him at 3 a.m., standing over the drawer, watching the baby sleep. She's okay. I know. Then come to bed. Can't. Keep thinking, what if I hadn't been there? What if you'd been alone? What if... Stop. You were there. That's what matters. This time, but next time. There won't be a next time. You don't know that. Sarah pulled him away from the drawer, led him to bed. You're right. I don't know. None of us know what tomorrow brings, but we can't live in fear, can't spend every moment waiting for disaster. How do you do it? Stay calm. I don't. I'm terrified every second of every day. Terrified something will happen. Someone will get sick. You'll get hurt. We'll lose the ranch. But I can't let that fear win, because if I do, if I give in to it, then what's the point? Jack pulled her close. I love you. I love you too. Now sleep. We've got work tomorrow. Jack closed his eyes, tried to relax, tried to believe they'd be okay, but sleep was a long time coming. The next morning brought another problem. Sam had a fever. Not high, but enough to worry. Sarah kept him home from town, gave him willow bark tea, watched him like a hawk. By afternoon the fever broke. Sam was fine, but Sarah was shaken. Every little thing terrifies me now, she admitted. Every cough, every fever. I keep thinking, what if it's like before? What if... It's not. He's fine. They're all fine. For now. Jack understood. They'd lost too much, been through too much. Every setback felt like the beginning of the end. But they kept going. What else could they do? A month passed, then another. Winter slowly loosened its grip. Snow melted, mud appeared, then grass. The children grew. Lucy shot up 3 inches, started looking like a young woman instead of a child. The twins became inseparable, finished each other's sentences. Lily learned new words every day. Mary started crawling. Sarah healed. Slowly. The grief of losing the baby faded, replaced by gratitude for what she had. Jack paid Delaney every month. On time. Every time. The debt shrank. 70, 60, 50. They were making it. Against every odd. Despite every setback. They were surviving. But Jack knew it was fragile. One bad season. One failed crop. One medical emergency. And it all came crashing down. He tried not to think about it. Tried to focus on today. On the good. On the family he'd built from nothing. One evening in early March, Jack came home to find Sarah standing in the garden, looking at the bare soil. Thinking about planting, he asked. Thinking about everything. She turned, smiled. We made it through winter. We did. I didn't think we would. That first night when I knocked on your door, I thought we'd die. Thought we'd freeze or starve or both. But we didn't. We survived. We did more than survive. We lived. Sarah laughed. Yeah, we did. She took his hand. Thank you. For what? For opening the door. For saying yes. For... Her voice caught. For giving us a home. Jack pulled her close. Thank you for knocking. They stood there in the garden, husband and wife, planning spring, planning future. Behind them, the cabin glowed warm. Children's voices drifted through the open door. Laughter. Arguing. Life. "You ever regret it?" Sarah asked. "Taking us in?" "Never. Not once." "Really? Not even when?" "Not even then. Every hard moment. Every scare. Every setback. Worth it. All of it." Sarah rested her head on his shoulder. "I love you." "Love you too." Night fell. They went inside, ate dinner with the children. Lucy had made stew, actually edible this time. They celebrated her achievement. After the children went to bed, Jack and Sarah sat by the fire. "Delaney's paid down to $40, Jack said. 3 more months and we're clear." "Then what?" "Then we breathe, start building instead of just surviving." "I'd like that." "Me too." They sat in comfortable silence. Then Sarah spoke. "I want to try again." Jack looked at her. "Try what?" "For another baby. I know we lost one. Know it might not work. But I want to try." Jack's chest tightened. "Sarah, I know the risks. Know we can't afford another child. Know everything could go wrong. But Jack, I want to try. Want to give you a son. A daughter. Something that's ours. Those 5 are ours. I know, but you want one we made together." "Yes." Jack understood. The children were his in every way that mattered. But there was something different about creating a life with someone. About building something new instead of rebuilding something broken. "Okay," he said. "We try." Sarah smiled, kissed him. "Thank you." "Don't thank me yet. We might not. We will. I know it." Jack hoped she was right. That night they lay together, husband and wife, planning, hoping, dreaming. Outside, winter's last snow fell, but spring was coming. Jack could feel it. New beginnings, fresh starts, second chances. Maybe this time they'd get it right. Maybe this time they'd get everything they wanted. Or maybe not. Maybe they'd face more loss, more heartbreak, more struggle, but they'd face it together, as a family. And that was enough, more than enough. It was everything. The next morning, Jack woke to chaos. Ben was gone. Sarah discovered it at breakfast. His bed was empty, his coat was missing, and the barn door was open. "He ran away," Lucy said, voice small, scared. "Why would he run away?" Jack asked. "Because of what I said. Last night. I told him." Lucy's face crumpled. "I told him he was a burden, that we'd have more food if he wasn't here." Jack's gut clenched. "Lucy, I didn't mean it. I was angry. He ate my biscuit and I—" She started crying. "I didn't mean it." Jack grabbed his coat. "I'll find him." "I'm coming too," Sarah said. "Stay with the children. I'll bring him back." Jack tracked Ben's footprints in the snow, leading toward town. The boy had maybe an hour head start. Jack pushed hard, following the trail, calling Ben's name. No answer. 2 miles out, the tracks disappeared. Wind had blown snow over them. Jack's chest tightened. The boy was 6 years old, alone, in the cold, with no food, no direction. He could die out here. Jack searched for 3 hours, circling, calling, growing desperate. Then he heard it. A sound, faint, coming from a ravine. Jack ran, slid down the embankment, found Ben huddled under a fallen tree, shivering, crying. "Papa!" Jack grabbed him, held him. "I've got you. You're okay." "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to," Lucy said. I know what she said. She didn't mean it. None of us mean it. You're not a burden. You're our son, our family. Really, really. Jack wrapped Ben in his coat, carried him home. Sarah was waiting on the porch. She ran to them, pulled Ben close. "Don't you ever—" She couldn't finish, just held him. Lucy appeared, face red, swollen. "I'm sorry," I'm so sorry. Ben looked at her. You didn't mean it. No, I was being mean. You're my brother. I love you. Ben nodded. I love you too. They all went inside. Sarah made hot soup. Jack built up the fire. The children pressed close to Ben, making sure he was okay. That night, Jack called them all together. Listen to me, all of you. We're a family. That means we stick together, no matter what. We don't run away. We don't tell each other we're burdens. We don't... He stopped. We fight. We argue. We say things we don't mean. But at the end of the day, we're family. And nothing changes that. Understand? 5 heads nodded. Good. Now go to bed. After they left, Sarah leaned against Jack. That was close. Too close. Think they understand now? I hope so. They sat in silence. The fire crackling. The cabin creaking. We almost lost him, Sarah whispered. But we didn't. This time. But Jack? What about next time? What if... Stop. We can't think like that. Can't live in fear. We do our best. Love them hard. And hope it's enough. Sarah nodded. But Jack saw the fear in her eyes. The knowledge that they were one mistake away from tragedy. He felt it too. Every day. Every moment. The weight of responsibility. The knowledge that 5 lives depended on him. It was terrifying. And beautiful. And more than he'd ever imagined. But he wouldn't trade it. Not for anything. Spring came fast after that. Snow melted in 3 days. The ground turned from frozen to mud to dirt. Green shoots pushed through soil that had been dead for months. Jack and the children planted the garden. Potatoes, beans, squash, carrots. Everything they'd need to survive next winter. Sarah worked beside them, hands in the dirt, face to the sun. She was different now, lighter, like losing the baby had freed something in her. I spent so long afraid, she told Jack one evening, afraid of losing, afraid of failing. But I realized I've already lost everything once, and I survived. So what's left to fear? Losing again. But if I do, I'll survive that too. We all will. Jack hoped she was right. The final payment to Delaney came due in May. Jack rode to Silver Creek with $40, his last debt, his last obligation. The saloon was busy, men drinking, playing cards. Delaney sat in back, counting money. Holloway, right on time. Jack set the money on the table. We're done. Delaney counted it slowly, deliberately, making Jack wait. Finally he nodded. We're done. He produced the contract, Jack's signature at the bottom. Delaney tore it in half. Pleasure doing business. Wasn't a pleasure, but it's done. Jack turned to leave. Holloway. He stopped. Heard your wife's brother came around. Marcus Brennan. He's been asking questions. About you. About Sarah. Thought you should know. Jack's gut tightened. What kind of questions? The kind that means he's planning something. Watch your back. Jack left. Rode hard for home, mind racing. What did Marcus want? Why was he asking about them? He found Sarah in the garden with the children. Lucy was teaching Lily how to plant seeds. Sam and Ben were digging furrows. Mary sat in the dirt, eating it. Sarah, need to talk to you. She saw his face. Children, go inside. After they left, Jack told her what Delaney said. Sarah's expression hardened. Marcus won't let it go. Won't let me be happy. Why? What does he want? Revenge, control. I don't know, but he's always been like this. Needs to win. Needs to be right. And leaving me choosing you, that's an insult he can't tolerate. So what do? We wait, and we're ready. Jack didn't like it, but they had no choice. 2 weeks later, Marcus came back, this time with a sheriff. Jack was repairing the barn when they rode up. Sarah came out of the cabin, face pale. "Marcus, Sheriff, what's this about?" The sheriff dismounted. Older man, weathered, apologetic. "Mrs. Holloway, I'm here about the children." Sarah's breath caught. "What about them?" "Mr. Brennan here filed a petition. Claims you're unfit. Claims the children are living in dangerous conditions. Judge wants me to investigate." "This is ridiculous." "I'm just doing my job, ma'am. Need to speak with the children, see the living conditions. Then I'll make my report." Jack stepped forward. "Those children are happy, healthy, fed, clothed, loved. There's nothing unfit here." "That may be, but I still need to see for myself." Marcus smiled. Cold, triumphant. The sheriff interviewed each child separately, asked about food, about beatings, about whether they felt safe. Lucy answered first. Fierce, protective. "This is the safest I've ever felt. Papa Jack treats us good, better than anyone. You take us away from here, you're making a mistake." Sam and Ben echoed her. Lily clung to Jack's leg, refused to talk to the sheriff at all. After the sheriff walked through the cabin, checked the food supplies, the beds, the stove. "Everything looks fine to me," he told Marcus. "What about the debt, the violence? Delaney came here with guns." "That's been resolved, debts paid, no outstanding issues." "But, Mr. Brennan, I don't know what your problem is with your sister-in-law. But these children are well cared for. Better than most. I'm recommending the petition be dismissed." Marcus's face went red. "This isn't over." "Yes, it is." Sarah stepped forward. "You tried to take my children. You failed. Now leave. And don't come back." "Sarah, I said leave." Marcus stared at her, then at Jack. Then he mounted his horse and rode away. After he left, Sarah collapsed. Jack caught her. "It's okay. He's gone. He'll be back. He won't stop. Not until..." "Until what?" "Until he destroys me. That's what he wants. That's what he's always wanted." Jack held her. "He can't destroy you. You're too strong." "I don't feel strong." "You are. Trust me." That night the children were subdued, scared. Lucy finally spoke up. "Are they going to take us away?" "No," Jack said firmly. "Nobody's taking you anywhere. But that man Marcus, he wants to. He can want all he likes. Sheriff said you're staying. Judge will say the same. You're ours. Legal. Forever. Promise." "Promise." Lucy nodded, but Jack saw the fear. The knowledge that adults broke promises all the time. He'd have to prove her wrong. Prove he was different. The next morning, Robert Brennan came alone. Jack met him at the door, hand near his rifle. "Come to finish what your father started." "No, came to apologize." Robert dismounted. "My father's wrong. About everything. About Sarah. About you. About the children. I tried to tell him. He wouldn't listen. So why are you here?" "To warn you. He's not done. He's talking to lawyers. Trying to find a way to take the children. Says Sarah's unstable. Unfit. That she manipulated you into marriage." Jack's jaw clenched. "That's a lie." "I know. But he believes it. And he's got money. Got connections. He might actually pull it off. Over my dead body." "Might come to that." Robert looked serious. "He's dangerous when he's fixated. Won't stop till he gets what he wants." "Then what do I do?" "Fight. Document everything. Get testimonies. Show the judge Sarah's a good mother. You're a good father. That the children are thriving. And if that doesn't work..." Robert was quiet. "Then you run. Take the children and disappear. Better than losing them to my father." After Robert left, Jack told Sarah what he'd said. "We can't run," Sarah said. "This is our home. And if we lose the children..." "We won't. But if we do..." Then we fight harder. But Jack, I won't run. Not again. I'm done running. Jack understood. She'd spent years running from her past, from her husband's debts, from Marcus's judgment. She was tired of it. But Jack wasn't sure fighting was enough. Marcus had money, power. The law might side with him, and if it did, they'd lose everything. That night, Jack couldn't sleep, kept thinking about worst-case scenarios, about the children torn away, about Sarah's face when it happened. He got up, went outside, stood under the stars. "Need some help here," he said to the darkness, to God, to Emma, to whoever was listening. "Don't know what to do, don't know how to protect them. So if you're out there, if you're listening, help me." No answer. Just wind. Just silence. Jack went back inside, lay beside Sarah, listened to her breathe, and prayed they'd be okay. The summons came a week later. Marcus had filed formal charges, claiming Sarah was mentally unstable, that she'd coerced Jack into marriage, that the children were being neglected. The hearing was set for June 15th, 3 weeks away. Jack and Sarah met with a lawyer, young man named Thomas Grant, idealistic, passionate, probably too inexperienced for this kind of case. "We need testimonies," Grant said. "People who can vouch for you, for Sarah, for the children's well-being." "We've got plenty," Jack said. "Reverend Stone, Henderson, half the town." "Good. I'll start gathering statements. But I'll be honest, Marcus Brennan's got influence, got money. This won't be easy." "Nothing about this has been easy," Grant smiled. "Then you're used to it." The next 3 weeks were hell. Jack and Sarah prepared, gathered evidence, testimonies, proof that the children were thriving. Lucy wrote a letter to the judge. 3 pages, describing how Jack had saved them, how Sarah had never given up, how this was the first real home they'd ever known. Sam and Ben drew pictures, crude, childish, but sincere, showing the family together, happy, whole. Lily made the judge a gift, a rock she'd painted with flowers. "So he knows we love him," she explained. Jack's chest ached looking at it. These children, trying so hard to prove they deserved to stay. They shouldn't have to prove anything. They were his, Sarah's. That should be enough. But the world didn't work that way. The day of the hearing arrived. They rode to town together, all of them. The children in their best clothes. Sarah in her wedding dress, Jack in his father's suit. The courthouse was packed, townspeople filling every seat. Marcus sat in front, lawyer beside him, looking confident. The judge entered. Older man, stern. Judge Morrison, known for being fair but harsh. "We're here regarding the petition filed by Marcus Brennan," Morrison said, "claiming Sarah Holloway is unfit to care for her children. Mr. Brennan, present your case." Marcus's lawyer stood, tall, silver-haired, expensive suit. "Your Honor, Mrs. Holloway has a history of poor judgment. Her first husband died under suspicious circumstances. She then imposed herself and 5 children upon Mr. Holloway, a stranger coercing him into marriage under false pretenses." "That's a lie," Jack said. The gavel banged. "Mr. Holloway, you'll have your turn." The lawyer continued. "Furthermore, the children have been exposed to violence, threats from criminals, a miscarriage suggesting severe stress. This is not a stable environment." Grant stood. "Your Honor, everything Mr. Brennan's lawyer just said is either false or deliberately misleading. May I present our evidence?" "Proceed." Grant called witnesses. Reverend Stone testified about the wedding, about Jack's character, about Sarah's devotion to her children. Henderson testified about giving Jack work, about seeing the family thrive. Dr. Morrison testified about Sarah's miscarriage. "A common occurrence," he said. "Nothing to do with neglect or stress, simply nature." Then Grant called the children. Lucy went first, stood straight, spoke clearly. "My mama loves us, Papa Jack loves us. We have food. We have clothes. We have a home. Anyone who says different is lying." The judge studied her. "You're happy there." "Happiest I've ever been." Sam testified next, then Ben, both echoing Lucy, both fierce in their defense. Lily refused to testify, too scared. But she walked up to the judge, handed him her painted rock. "For you," she whispered. Morrison took it, studied it. Something softened in his face. Finally, Morrison called Sarah to the stand. "Mrs. Holloway, tell me in your own words, what happened the night you came to Mr. Holloway's door?" Sarah told the story. All of it. The evictions, the rejections, the desperate walk through snow, Jack's answer when she begged him to take her children. "He said he'd take me too," Sarah finished, voice breaking. "Nobody had ever in my whole life, nobody had ever chosen me, chosen to keep me. But Jack did, and he's been choosing me every day since. And you believe this is a good environment for your children." "I know it is. They're fed, they're loved, they're safe. That's all I ever wanted for them. And Jack gave us that." Morrison was quiet. Then he looked at Marcus. "Mr. Brennan, why are you really here?" Marcus stood. "Because I care about those children." "No, the truth." Marcus's face reddened. "She humiliated me. Married a nobody. Rejected her real family for him." He pointed at Jack. "She chose wrong. And those children are paying for it." "Are they?" Morrison looked at the children, at their clean clothes, their healthy faces, their fierce love for Jack and Sarah, because from where I'm sitting, those children look like they're thriving. "But I've heard enough." Morrison banged his gavel. "Petition dismissed. The children remain with Mr. and Mrs. Holloway. Mr. Brennan, you're to have no further contact with this family. Any violation will result in charges. We're adjourned." The courthouse erupted. Sarah collapsed in Jack's arms. The children swarmed them, Lucy crying, Sam and Ben cheering, Lily holding tight. Marcus stood, face white, defeated. His lawyer grabbed his arm, led him out. Jack didn't watch him go. Just held his family, his wife, his children. They'd won. Against every odd. Against money and power and influence. They'd won. Outside the town gathered, congratulating them, celebrating with them. Reverend Stone shook Jack's hand. Henderson clapped his shoulder. Even Mrs. Pruitt smiled. They rode home as the sun set. The children singing. Sarah leaning against Jack. Content. Safe. At the cabin they ate dinner. Celebrated. Laughed. The tension of the last weeks finally releasing. After the children went to bed, Jack and Sarah sat outside. "We did it," Sarah said. "Really did it." "Yeah, we did." "I was so scared. Thought for sure." "I know. Me too." Sarah took his hand. "Thank you. For fighting for us. For not giving up." "Couldn't give up. You're my family." "We are, aren't we? A real family." "The realest." They sat in silence. Stars wheeling overhead. Night birds calling. The world peaceful and right. "Jack." "Yeah, I'm pregnant." Jack's heart stopped. "What?" "Found out this morning. Didn't want to say anything till after the hearing. But I'm pregnant." Jack pulled her close. How do you feel?" "Terrified. Hopeful. Both." "Me too." "You think we can do this?" Another child. "We can do anything. Look what we've already done." Sarah laughed. "Fair point." They went inside. Lay in bed. Jack's hand on Sarah's belly, where new life was growing. "Boy or girl?" Sarah asked. "Don't care, long as they're healthy." "Me neither." They fell asleep like that. Connected. Whole. Complete. The summer passed in a blur of work and joy. The garden flourished. Jack's job at Henderson's became permanent. Sarah's belly grew. The children adjusted to the idea of another sibling. Lucy was excited. The twins were indifferent. Lily wanted a sister. Mary didn't understand, but seemed happy anyway. In August, Jack and Sarah took the children to a swimming hole, spent the day in the sun, playing, laughing, being a family. That evening, sitting by the fire, Lucy spoke up. "Papa, can I ask you something?" "Always." "Do you ever miss your first family, your wife and son?" Jack was quiet. "Every day." "Does it hurt?" "Used to. Now it's just part of me. Like a scar. Still there, but healed." "Do you think they'd like us?" Jack's throat tightened. "Yeah, I think they'd love you." Lucy nodded, satisfied. That night, Sarah asked him the same thing. "Do you think Emma would approve of us? I think she sent you to me. Think she knew I needed saving as much as you did." "That's a nice thought." "It's the truth." Sarah kissed him. "I love you." "Love you too." In November, Sarah went into labor. Jack sent Lucy for Dr. Morrison, stayed with Sarah, held her hand, talked her through the pain. The children waited outside, scared, excited, hopeful. After 6 hours, a baby's cry filled the cabin. "It's a girl," Morrison said. "Healthy, strong lungs." Sarah held her daughter, tears streaming. "She's perfect." Jack looked at his daughter. Tiny, red, beautiful. "What do we name her?" "Emma," Sarah said without hesitation. "After your first wife, so she's always with us." Jack couldn't speak, just nodded. Morrison cleaned up, left. The children came in, stared at their new sister with wonder. "She's so small," Ben whispered. "We were all small once," Jack said. That night, the whole family gathered around Sarah's bed, looking at baby Emma, marveling. "We're complete now," Sarah said. "All of us, together." Jack looked around, at his wife, at his 6 children, at the life he'd built from nothing. She was right. They were complete. The years passed. Emma grew. The other children grew. The ranch prospered. Jack and Sarah grew old together. There were hard times, droughts, illnesses, arguments, but they weathered them. Together, as a family. Lucy grew up, got married, had children of her own. Sam and Ben took over the ranch. Lily became a teacher. Mary a nurse. Emma followed her mother's path. Strong, fierce, unstoppable. Jack and Sarah watched it all. Proud, grateful, amazed at what they'd built. On their 20th anniversary, they stood in the garden. Older now, grayer, but still together. "You ever regret it?" Sarah asked. "Opening that door?" Jack pulled her close. "Never. Best decision I ever made." Even with all the hard parts, especially with the hard parts, they made us who we are. Sarah smiled. "I love you, Jack Holloway." "I love you, Sarah Holloway." They went inside, where their children waited, where their grandchildren played, where life continued. And Jack thought about that night, 20 years ago, when a desperate woman knocked on his door, when he could have said no, could have turned her away. But he'd said yes, and that yes had changed everything. It had given him a family, a purpose, a reason to live. It had saved him as much as he'd saved them. Some winters break you, some winters remake you. That winter had remade Jack Holloway, had taken a broken man and made him whole, and he'd spent every day since grateful for the knock that changed his life, for the woman who'd had the courage to ask for help, for the children who'd taught him how to love again, for the family that had saved him from the dark. Jack Holloway had lost everything once, his wife, his son, his hope. But he'd found something better, something stronger, something that would last. He'd found a family built not on blood, but on choice, on love, on the decision to show up every day and fight for each other. And that was worth more than anything he'd lost. That was worth everything.